Okay. The next type which is available in the R object is known as a factor. Okay, and factors are the R objects which are created using a vector again. Okay, and it stores the vector along with the distinctive, you can say distinct values of the elements in the vector as labels. Okay, and labels are always, you can say, characters, irrespective of whether it is numeric or character or Boolean, uh, or any other type in the input vector, and they are very useful in statistical modeling. Okay, so factors will be used mostly when we do statistics. Okay, in advanced R, if next time in the third semester we have advanced R. So when we do advanced R, we'll look at statistical modeling there. Okay, so you'll find that factors are something which will be used uh, oftenly in statistical modeling. Okay, and as I said, factors again can be created using a function, and the name of the function is factor. And there's a n level function. There's a function called n levels. Okay, which gives the count of the levels here. Okay, I'll just give you a demo here, and then we will go ahead. So to create a factor, what I'll do is I'll create first of all, you can say a vector first. So create a vector called, let us say, colors or something like that. Let's say, okay, colors. Let us create a vector by the name colors. Okay, and the combine function to create a vector. So first I'm creating a vector here. Say green. Then we can say yellow. Again, I need some, say, red. I'll repeat this green again, and red again. Okay, so how many values I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I have got 5 values here. So let us complete, let us put one more time. I'll put yellow once more. So I have yellow here. Okay, I'll complete this round bracket. So my vector is created. Okay, what happened? Okay, unexpected symbol, colors. See, okay, red. Okay, now here you can see this. The green option which I had given, I forgot to put the single quote there. Okay, and there's the reason I got the error. Okay, so let me copy this whole thing, put this back here, and enclose this. Come back here. It's not going to come. Okay, green. Then I'll put red and one more yellow. Okay, complete this. Press enter now. Okay, there's no problem now. Okay, now first, as I said, I have to create a vector, and then I can create a factor. Okay, so to create a factor, there's a function which is used, factors. Okay, so let me name this as F, okay, for factor, and use the function here, factor, into round bracket. Okay, now when I'm passing, to create a factor, I have to pass a vector here. Okay, so the vector which we have created, colors, I'll pass it here as a parameter. I could have also written this whole statement, that is C into bracket, all these values inside here, okay, inside this factor function. Even that is possible, okay. But just to show you in a different way, I have created the factor, the vector first. After creating the vector, I have passed it to the factor function. Okay, complete the round bracket. Okay, press enter. Now, if I print this value, okay, what I'll get now, remember that it is going to treat these values also unique and distinct values. Okay, now if you look at the vector here, I have multiple values. Say red is appearing twice. Okay, green is also appearing twice, and yellow as well twice. Okay, So these are not unique values. Okay, but in case of vectors, as I said, levels are created. Okay, so if I display the factor here, it is going to give me all the values. But if I want to know the unique value, then there's a function called n levels, which I'll be showing you now. So let us print this first. So print into bracket f, press enter, and here you can see I have got all the values. So green, yellow, red, green, red, yellow again. Okay. But the levels, there are only three, because there are only three unique values here: green, red, and yellow. Okay. So this is the major difference between your other types. Okay. In other types, we do not have this level type. We can have duplicate values as well. While storing, it is going to store the duplicate values, but it is also going to give me the unique value as labels. Okay, so as labels, these are my labels here, which is known as levels. Okay, so three different levels, you can say. If I want to know using the function n levels, I can also make use of that function. So to give that, I can give the print function. Inside the round bracket, I'll write n levels. Okay, it is going to return me the different levels. Okay, and in round bracket, I want to find the levels of the factor f. So I'll give f here into round bracket, complete this round bracket as well. Press enter, and here you can see how many levels I have. I have three levels. You can see this three levels here: 1, 2, 3. Okay, and n means number of levels, how many levels I have. Okay, if I change this colors, okay, and put more values there, the level might change. If I add one more color, okay, to my vector, I will get that many values. Okay, so basically these are the two functions which are frequently used. First of all, the factor function is used to create the factor, and n levels is used to find how many levels I have inside the factor. Okay, that is the purpose of using your factor. And as I said, factors are basically used in statistical modeling. Okay, so again, we are going to come to factors again. The last type which we have, and which will be used frequently in our programming, and especially when we are handling files, when we are handling Excel files or any database files, I'll be using data frames a lot. Okay, so the last one is the most important and frequently used, you can say, object, along with the vectors object. So data frame is another one. Now, what is a data frame here? A data frames are nothing but your tabular data object. And when I say tabular, that means I'll be having rows and columns. You know, even your array has rows and columns, your matrix has rows and columns. So unlike the matrix in data frame, now each column can contain a different mode of data. Okay, each column can have a different data type. Okay, the first column can be, say, a numeric value, while the second one can be a character, the third one can be some logical value or some other, a character value, and so on. Okay, similar to your, you can say, Excel file, a data set. Now, in when we create a Excel file, okay, one row can have multiple, you can say, values there, and each column can be of different data type. Now, if you remember in Excel, when we did Tableau, okay, when we extracted the orders file, each column had a different data type. Okay, so we can imagine that to be a data frame. Okay, so if you want to imagine something, you can imagine an Excel sheet to be similar to your data frame. Okay, now to create a data frame, I'm not going to open a file, of course, right now. When we do file handling, we'll do that. We will create a data frame here. Okay, so to create a data frame, there's a function called data.frame. Okay, so I can write, let us say, I want to have a combination of, say, three types: the gender and the height and the age. Okay, I want to store this three columns inside my data frame. Okay, And using that, again, one more, let us add a weight also. And using that, I might use it to find out the BMI. Okay, so I'll create a variable by the name B, okay, which will be my data frame. Then assign the equal sign. The function is data.frame, okay, frame, okay. Then the round bracket. The first column name will come here. Let us say gender, okay, gender equal to. Now, when I'm assigning, remember multiple elements, we need to pass vectors, okay. So gender equal to C into round bracket. Now, because I'll be having 3 records, let us initially have only 3 records here. So for male, I'll put M, one more female, and I'll put one more content as again female. Let us put F again. Okay, so this becomes 3 values for my column gender. Okay, again put a comma. I can pass the next values. So next column, let us say, is height. So I give HEIGHT, height. Now in this case also I have to make use of the vector. So I'll give equal to C into bracket. Now let us randomly give some numbers. Okay, so I have given some numbers here, and these are random numbers. There's nothing to do with the gender here. I'm just showing you an example. Comma, next I can give the weight. Okay, so weight equal to, again use C to combine the values. Let us say 75, 80, and 85. Complete this round bracket. And the last one, I'll keep the column as age. Okay, so age also I can give C into round bracket. Let us give some age as say 42, then 33, and let us give this as 40 again somewhere. Fine. Complete this round bracket. Now this round bracket is remaining for the frame, so one more round bracket is required. Okay, I press enter, and here I print my value which is stored in B. So I do this and look at the value. Now this is how it is getting created. So these are my columns which I created, and these were the records I had created. Okay, it is getting stored in the same sequence. So in form of rows and columns, and the columns can be of different data types. As I said, it can be character, it can be numeric, it can be a float value. Okay, a numeric can be either integer or a float value, or a character. Okay, or even a true or false. So you can have multiple combinations. So this is how you can create a data frame. Okay, so we will stop here today. Data frame is the last. How to create, at least I've shown you how to create all the different types of objects in R. So when we go ahead, the first thing we'll try to see is the variables, how to create variables, what are the rules of creating variables. Okay, and there's some different types of functions which we can use. Like till now we have been using only print function to display the value. So next time when we come, we are going to see another function called cat, CAT, cat function. It is also known as a concatenation function. Okay, and basically whenever I want to display multiple, you can say string values. Okay, right now in the print we are putting everything in double quotes, or we are just passing a variable name. Now if I have a multiple combination and I want to display on the screen, then I can make use of the cat function there. Okay, so that's all from my end. Any doubts you have, you can ask a question, or else we call it a day. You can, those who have not given the attendance in the previous session, that means the 40-minute session of a Zoom, you can punch in your name and roll number now. When we come next, we will start with this two things again, the factor and the data frame again, because I think four of them have four of them have not joined. Okay, so I'll revise that again, and then we'll go ahead. Okay, so that's all for today. See you in the next session then. And please, as I said, please practice this, because just attending the lecture is not going to help you. You need to practice it. At least once you go and write down this code and try to, check how the output looks like. Okay, so thank you guys for joining. See you in the next
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.